They got it all blocked out. They got it all blocked out. If Mike's in an exit, if the bitch is in an exit, every motherfucking exit. You
Welcome to the Dumbfounded Dipshits podcast. 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 We are back.
We're back.
We're back.
4 months. 4 months. What a hiatus. Jesus Christ. I grew an extra limb and had it amputated. That's how long we've been gone.
Also, I want to point out that we are behind on YouTube by a few seconds, which is weird.
So there's a YouTube lag? Wasn't there always a YouTube lag? Like, wasn't it like, didn't we notice like we tried to play ourselves live once and it was like a whole like five full seconds behind, which is
noticed also there's no chat.
There's no chat on what? On this?
Now.
No, but there is a chat though. It's just that, you know, it's not on the side scroll. On our new setup, we did do a test run a couple of weeks back. Well, it was very clunky, and we were just trying to figure this out, and we got it pretty much figured out, everybody. So when you're going to be watching this, hopefully no technical difficulties, and we'll be able to the whole time. A lot of shit has gone down since our last episode. Our last episode, I believe, was the beginning of September, right? So we've had drones, a new old president. We've had a whole bunch of fucking healthcare assassination. We've had fucking a couple of homegrown terrorists recently, New Year's, Christmas, fucking Thanksgiving. Everything happened in the last couple of months. The World Series, a lot of shit has gone on. Fucking Halloween, yeah, but nothing really interesting happened this Halloween.
Why are you popping away? Oh, there it goes. Overlay. I could put chat on the screen.
Nice. Perfect. I saw a long time no see. Welcome back to the Dumbfounded Dipshits. More dumbfounded than ever. A lot of fucking weird shit that we have not covered. Usually you would be the person that I would be talking to about all this stuff. Yeah. I've been bottling it up.
So like
to fucking talk about all this crap.
There's been quite a few UFO guys on Joe Rogan, quite a few legit ones on Rogan, and lots of amazing things happening. And
so Rogan's getting people who are credited, right? And then Sean Ryan's getting a lot of like the conspiracy quacks. I don't know if you watch the Sean Ryan podcast. He's like that. He's been on Rogan, but he's like, you know, he always gets like ex-CIA, ex-fucking military special ops.
Kooks.
He gets a lot of kooks. And he had a guy on recently that people are like fucking flipping about because he says he has information on the Cybertruck bomber who blew up all those fireworks in front of that Trump hotel down in Texas or something like that, right?
Yeah, something crazy like that.
And how that's tied to the dude who ran through all those people in New Orleans and shit. But apparently the guy has, or at least it seems like, has no real credibility, and a lot of people are like sort of, you know, already debunking all the shit that he's theorizing. Ooh, what is that? Is that a bun?
I think.
Is that a bun?
So I'm gonna eat it a little bit, but
it's too hot. Hot bun, but that's what you want. You want the hot bun? Is it pork bun or is it sweet?
I hope it's sweet. If it's pork bun, I'm gonna be very, very disappointed.
Pork buns are awesome though.
They are, but I'm not want right now. I'm just saying.
But yeah, Rogan had a lot of UAP motherfuckers up, and then like all this fucking drone shit's happening, which is all obvious, you know, that the drones are fucking, you know, man-made and shit, and that they're probably ours.
Have you seen them?
I've seen only videos, and I've seen like what people were calling drones down here, but that were clearly helicopters flying at night. You know, everything turns into a drone if it's in the air at night, or like out of nowhere. Like airplanes are drones now. People, like, somebody's flying their Cessna a little late at the end of their flight class, and it's a drone. Like everything's a fucking drone. And Jersey's surrounded by airports and shit. And hobbyists. These motherfuckers are rude as fuck and don't give a fuck about your aviation laws.
So basically, one night I'm laying in bed, and we're laying in bed, and we hear a loud sound. It sounds like a helicopter, and I'm like, "Oh fuck! It's gonna wake up the kids. This is crazy. What the fuck are they doing? It sounds like it's really low."
They're looking for somebody like that, like somebody's on the lam or some shit.
I thought they were looking for someone.
Yeah,
which means the cops would be like flying around with a spotlight or something.
Yeah. That usually is what comes next. If they stick in one spot, they got the light down. Yep. But
I look out the window, because the window that's facing that way is an air conditioner, so I can't see from my bedroom window. So I go look up the window, the air conditioner. I go, oh look, it's a helicopter flying really low. They must be looking for something.
Like you could see it clearly that it was just like something hovering.
So I couldn't see it completely clear because I'll get to that. So it's hovering over the parking lot, maybe 400 feet away.
Gotcha.
Maybe a little more, but it's really low. And then it moves to my neighbor's house. And then like I talked about it the next day at work. And then I kind of realized as I'm talking about it, I go, wait a second. It didn't have NYPD shit on it at all.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't have, it's called a rotor, I guess, the rotor, the back part. It didn't have
that spins to keep it straight. Right. Yeah.
It didn't have that. I'm like, wait, it didn't have any of that. It didn't have a spotlight looking. It didn't look like it was looking for someone. It kind of just was hovering over the parking lot.
Right.
It was a fucking drone.
So what did it all boil down to? That a lot of these drones are just like on the DL looking for nuclear material because
I think that
bomb was out there.
I don't think that was ever confirmed.
No, obviously, nothing has been confirmed. So it's still a mystery that everybody just doesn't give a shit about now and just taking as like this is like subway rats. It's just something. It's a thing. Like drones over Jersey are a thing now, but now it's drones over everywhere. Like everybody's like people.
It's a meat bun. It's not custard.
So it's still. How could you be disappointed though?
It's not bad.
Meat buns are good, bro. Meat buns are just as good. Custard buns are awesome though, but that's more of like a dessert thing. You know what I mean? But goes to show where my palate's pointed. But anyway, fucking drones. And you know, we're not gonna know what the fuck is up because they were probably looking for something that they don't want us to know about. They don't want us to freak us out. You know what I mean? I like that nuclear material theory because then that fucking explains a lot. That okay, at least they're being hyper vigilant, but they don't need to fucking panic the fucking masses. You know what I mean? But they need to look for it, and they're going to be using drones. But what fucking freaked me out was at the same exact time, they had that drone show in Orlando. And I was at a wedding in Orlando, not far from where this lake is. And those fucking drones just started dropping out of the sky. What are we watching here? Here's the drone invasion. So this is one of them? Is this?
I don't know. It might be a compilation.
Because a lot of these, if it's a comp, a lot of these things definitely got
3,000 reports of drone sightings in recent weeks, and now those sightings have spread to Queens.
That's a plane. That's a plane. That's a helicopter. That's a helicopter.
So the drones, they're here now in New York, and people have spotted them flying around their neighborhoods.
They've been, just nobody's been paying attention.
It's fucking that was a helicopter.
Yeah, the thing is, also have been people since hobbyists have been fucking around with drones. They've had them.
That response, instead suggesting that these so-called drones could be controlled by a foreign adversary, or maybe part of a secret government operation. But one thing's for sure: the more we see them, the more we hear about them, the closer many people think we are to some shocking future event.
My concern
future
is not
event.
knowing where they came from.
I mean, listen, that's where the paranoia comes from. That that nuclear material shit. It's because they're afraid some shit's gonna end up going down.
State or local law enforcement corroborate any of the reported visual sightings.
For a second, I thought you were gonna say like it flew into my window and then probed me in the ass. That's what I thought you were gonna say.
Me?
The story was gonna go, yeah.
No anal probes, please.
So imagine there's just like drones flying around with like dildos strapped to them, just attacking people.
Ow.
It's kamikaze dropping out of the sky and just like rape drones or some shit.
Rape drones.
Am I allowed
to everybody?
We just passed the 10-minute mark, so I'm dropping bombs now. Dropping bombs. Dropping drones. I'm dropping I'm dropping dildo drones. That's what I'm dropping. Some of these are drones though, but the thing is, like, you could literally, Mike, you could literally buy a fucking $2,000 drone that's like the size of a Volkswagen. You know what I mean? Like used, that has like fucking 8 rotors on it that you could strap. Strap to it. You know what I mean? And fucking fly it around New Jersey. But like I'm saying, half this stuff could be fucking explained, and I don't know. Okay, do you know what really got me about the whole drone thing? Is just this hysteria. The hysteria really got me.
It could be some of that. It could.
I'm like, y'all just need to fucking chill out until one of these things actually does something to somebody. You know what I mean? Or like fucking takes a helicopter out by accident. Then fucking, you know what I mean? Then maybe there's already fucking laws that say that they can't fly over 400 feet. Right? Isn't that what you're
supposed to fly at night? They're not supposed to fly near an airport. I forgot the distance.
Within a certain amount of miles from there, but they can't be there. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of places that they can't go if you own them privately, right? So obviously, if there's that many, one would deduce that it's a higher ranking entity that's just like flying these things around and shit. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't even really be that bugged up with like this is 2025. Like, you didn't think there's gonna be flying vehicles around? Isn't this what everybody fucking wanted?
Yeah, that's exactly what people were talking about. Flying cars in the future, and we're getting close to that. Clearly, they're flying little things around forever.
They're flying.
Well, apparently, some of them are the size of cars. So,
yeah, well, I mean, they also have the Amazon drone pilot. That drops like packages on people's fucking stoops. I think they don't do it everywhere. I don't think they could do it here because there's too many airports around here. Like, I'm literally surrounded by a lot of small airports.
Did you watch the episode with James Fox, the most recent one?
No, I have it queued up. I didn't watch that yet. Yeah,
so
I'm a little backlogged.
He mentions a photo in the podcast that was like he had to hunt down for it because it was like supposedly given, and then supposedly they were going to drop off the photos to the investigator, and they were supposed to mail them. And before they mailed them, these people showed up and said, "Oh, we work with so and so. We're here to pick up the pictures." And they took the pictures and never saw them again. And then he found some of them, and there's some crazy story behind it. So here are the pictures.
How did they leak?
He leaked them. He got them. He
already
finding them.
Gotcha.
Where's the original? Some of these are not, like he said, this one is not an original. Where'd it go? This is not the original. This is
okay.
Like AI made
a rendition.
Yeah,
a rendition. Yeah. Oh, gotcha. Okay.
This here is the original.
All right. Okay. And that's contrast because that's the kind of plane that would be flying behind it.
What?
That's not flying next to it. Yeah, that they're not close in space, right?
Allegedly,
that plane should be off in the distance.
Allegedly, it was a Harrier jet circling it, trying to figure out what the hell this thing is.
So hovering.
Because
those things like, yeah.
Yes.
Experimental aircraft much?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they're not shooting it down, it's very weird.
You would figure, like, is there protocol that says, like, if we cannot identify country of origin, we don't shoot it down? Do you think that's why none of these get shot down, or do you think it's written protocol to say like these are not to be shot down?
I don't know
specifically.
I don't know,
because like you just said, you make a really good point. It's like obviously, like I think in history, American pilots have been shot down like over sovereign nations, like just because they were encroaching and vice versa.
I don't know how
you know what I mean.
Story though now. So,
but I'm just saying, like
I'm a skeptic. I'm always skeptical, but this is this picture. It says, okay, photographs of UFOs are often dark and grainy, leaving enthusiasts disappointed and skeptics questioning. But back in 2022, however, this is a picture from 2022. That's a pretty shitty photo.
It's sort of grainy.
This is not the original. Unless I'm wrong, and this is the photo that he made, and this is the original. I don't know. Hold on. This picture was snapped by two unknown hikers in the Scottish Highlands and has been hidden from the public for 30 years.
So this is like the Royal British Navy had that. That's their plane. That's not an American plane. And then the people obviously who took the pictures were, you know, from Great Britain and that's their origin. They're from Scotland, right?
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yeah. There's an ad. Of course there's a fucking ad.
Can't escape that.
Jesus, we got topics galore.
God damn, you got our attention. Shit.
What is this?
It's off the side of a plane.
Ooh.
Oh, you've seen this before. I've seen this a bunch. You see it? It's just like sort of stationary, and they fly right past it. And then it looks like it sort of slows down and then speeds off. But that could also just be because of the way the plane's like in relation to it. It's just like sort of like it's there and it just shoots.
Bye sound.
But that one's, and they all seem to be about similar shape. And you know what bugs me out? Do you remember there was a movie that came out in the 80s? It's a Disney movie, but they released it like on television on ABC called Flight of the Navigator. Do you know that movie?
It sounds awfully familiar.
Yeah, the spaceship from that looks like all of these. You know what I mean? Like, it's like the outside of this spaceship sort of looks like Quicksilver. It sort of looks like Mercury. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's shaped exactly like that, like eye-shaped, football-shaped, sort of. You know what I mean?
Tic-tac-ish.
Man, I guess you could call it. But relative to the size of a Winnebago. You know what I mean?
Someone described it as a disc or a circle with a square inside of it, and that previous video that with the thing flying by, it kind of looked like a circle but oval with something in the middle.
If you were to give a quick description, you could say that, and that would be what was in that picture. Yeah.
Where'd it go? God damn it! Is it right here? Is it this one?
So do you think Trump's going to tell us about the aliens this time around?
Who?
Do you think Trump's going to tell us about the aliens this time around?
You mean Lord and Savior Donald J. Trump?
Our president-elect. It was crazy because the last episode.
I didn't actually vote for him. I'm joking.
Last episode. We had this was still an ongoing election, and there was no result even in the near future. We just got Kamala, I think.
You know what's crazy though?
We just got Kamala, I think, as the candidate.
I'm going to be very honest.
Yeah.
I honestly did not think he was going to win.
Really? I felt the opposite the whole time. Yeah. I knew what happened was going to happen.
Well,
there's only one way it was going to play out with the way that they had.
You're right. I didn't think he was going to win up until it was close to the election, and I said, "Oh my God, he's going to win," because she just fucking bombed. But in the beginning, I'm like, you have everyone screaming, "A black woman or a woman of color, first president. We can do this. Let's do it. Let's push that." That's the only reason why.
There was a lot of hype at that time. At the beginning of September, there was still, like you're saying, a lot of hype behind that, and she still didn't do that. She didn't go on The View yet and dodge questions like she did. She didn't dodge questions in that other interview, I think on NBC. You know what I mean? And she wasn't like dodging questions yet. Once she started dodging questions, everybody started second guessing her. Everybody who was like on the fence, who were going to vote anyway, but just weren't decided, definitely just said, "All right, listen, I already know what I'm getting with Trump, and I'll just click that."
Very true.
Trump didn't win. Trump won more on just like the wave of support that came out of seemingly nowhere between 2015 and 2016 the first time. He got like that rock and roll, fandom. Everybody came out in droves to vote for him when he won the first time, and that's what pushed him over.
Well, what made me very happy this time, he not only won the election, he also won the popular vote.
Yeah.
So you couldn't even argue. You couldn't even fight. He
It was
also
done. Yeah, it was done. Yeah, and it was pretty much you knew it was finished.
yeah.
Within 2 days, when I think the last 4 elections, we didn't even know for sure until
Yeah.
December
Listen,
or January.
you know who won the election? Oh,
Donald
no,
J. Trump.
sorry. Do you know who really lost the election?
Who? Besides 50% of the people with opinions in this country.
Obviously, it's less than 50.
Yeah. Yes. Right. That's true. You can't count out all the people that accidentally voted for him. You ever think of that?
Oh,
You know what?
I was gonna say, it wasn't Hamas.
If I wanted to bring this up, I think I may have said this last year during our podcast from last year. I wanted to say how many people voted in any election that just like accidentally hit the wrong button and walked out. And we're like, oh, wait a minute, shit. How often does that happen? Like accidentally voting for the other party? There's got to be some sort of stat out there that says like how many misvotes are there?
Yeah, but what do? You can't tell them, hey, I messed up.
Well, I mean, I'm sure like they have all these fucking polls. They haven't taken a poll on like, did you intend to vote for Kamala, but instead flick the Trump switch because you have like, what is that called? Like when you let the intrusive thoughts win.
Wow.
Yeah. And you just like, fuck it. I'll just like, and walk out, not thinking even be like, shit, did I do it? Like, were there, all right, actually a better question. How about this? Buyer's remorse votes.
Wow.
People, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like, I should have. How many of those are there? There's like, that's what, like, there's got to be a quantifiable number with that, like through polling,
Yeah, but do you think that...
Like if they say 10% of people regret their vote, that's still a pretty fucking decent chunk of people.
Yeah,
that could affect an election.
I guess. There's also 10% that vote for the other. Is it even 10% at this point? Is it like 5 or 6%?
Maybe.
Presidential results. I don't even know who. Let's see. Okay, it just tells me those two. It doesn't tell me anyone else. Okay, Jill Stein. Wow. Okay. People still voted for Robert Kennedy.
Yeah, you could write in. He was still on the ballot because he dropped out late enough in some states to where his name was still on the ballot, but it wasn't going to count towards a vote for him, really. You know what I mean? Because he was already off. It was just like, but you could do it if you want to, and you could write in, Robert Kennedy Jr. if you wanted to, if he wasn't on the ballot.
Trump got 77 million. Kamala got 75 million. Jill Stein got 700,000. Almost 800,000. Robert Kennedy got almost 700,000 as well, actually.
So like 150 million people voted, right?
Yes.
Around. And so out of 150 million people, we have 400 million people in the United States, but not everybody is of voting age or eligible to vote, because I think, right? Felons aren't allowed to vote, right? Isn't that a
felons
thing?
cannot vote.
So, and then there's probably a lot of people who just are not registered to vote. So that's still a lot of people if you think about it. 150 million people means most of the adults in the United States voted.
Oh, they can't vote while they're in jail, but when they're released, they can vote.
Even still,
I'm just saying.
It's probably a chunk of fucking people in prison or in jail who would vote if given the choice.
Of course.
But that's a lot of people who came out to vote. So even though I did not participate,
You didn't vote?
no, I didn't vote.
Damn, bro. What's
Didn't-
wrong with
didn't-
you?
Didn't make a fucking difference. Didn't make a difference. You know, I don't want to say out loud what my choice would have been if you put a gun to my head and put me in a booth.
Please. We all know whose choice. Whose choices. Who's your choice?
Yeah.
Can't talk. I'm edible, by the way, guys, and I'm drinking
Nice.
my drink. And
I can't do. You know what? At night, right now I'm at the age where edible is it's my Ambien. Edible is my Ambien now. But the thing is, I'm having a great time for about an hour and a half, but like I can't make it past the 2-hour mark. Like I can't watch a full movie. I will fall asleep at the last 10 minutes of a movie, guaranteed.
yeah, I fall asleep during shows all the time.
No, I'm good to go. Like I'll watch the first episode of a show, like 1 hour, and then the second episode, I'm probably dozing off, and I'll sleep. I sleep like pretty good. You know what I mean? Wake up feeling like $1 million the next day, well rested. But the thing is, unfortunately, good times are done real quick now. It's just I don't know what happened, but that's just what they always do to me. And I would literally, in order to make it past the 2-hour mark on an edible, I would have to have a coffee with it. It would just have to be one and the other.
I had tea.
Yeah, all right. I take an espresso just to fucking level me out, so I'm not like falling asleep.
Is this going to show any real footage? I don't
Probably
see
not.
any real footage. It says caught on camera, so I'm like, okay.
Just in UFOs and Department's Disclosure Act of 2023, the U.S. military is even developing portable UFO detection kits. These advancements suggest UFO
Did they ever
sighting
identify that floating squid, octopus, jellyfish thing?
No, like everything about it was either it wasn't actually out there a three-dimensional object out there in the field. It was just something with the camera lens. You hear that?
No.
And that's a lot of the other excuses where it was something post-production, but that thing outright looked like a fucking probe droid.
It was weird, yeah.
From Star Wars. From Star Wars, that's what they send down to a planet to look for people. You know what I mean? Like if they were like fucking this person's on the lam and on the run and we're looking for him, they would fucking send that down to look for you. And that looked like that's what that fucking thing was doing. Maybe there's like some sort of like because they already have like it out there in the theater of war. They have these drone bombers and shit like that, which are pretty crazy. I think I sent you a video.
It's insane.
Yeah, and I mean we've watched videos I think on this, and I think I may have sent one to the Instagram page, and recently it was pretty funny, but it's not to say that they don't have things that just sort of like can be reused, right? That aren't just so disposable.
See, this looks like it could be. That's the Go Fast video.
in which aliens make contact with humanity, raising curiosity about the nature of potential alien-human interaction.
Isn't that Commander,
whether
what's his
peaceful
name,
or
Fravor
hostile.
or some shit?
As we delve into 25 of the most compelling UFO sightings till date, including those captured by respected military personnel,
No, I don't want
the debate
volume.
intensifies.
So what say you? Like, do you go in and out like I do with this? Like, where it's like, oh, maybe they're extraterrestrial, or maybe they're, it's like something like here. There you go. That's the squid right there.
Figures floating in air, challenging skeptics.
See,
shaped crafts and even humanoid
that's squid.
figures.
It doesn't look like it's something like inside the lens.
It looks like it's following at the pace of the camera.
Floating in air, challenging skeptics.
That's a good point. The camera's
Even
perfectly
disc-shaped
following
crafts
it.
and even
Yeah,
humanoid figures.
but is that
there,
because
though.
it's tracking exactly, or is that because it's being tracked?
And fueling discussions about extraterrestrial life. So without wasting any further time,
You wasted a lot of
welcome
time.
to Lab 3 Jellyfish UAP in Iraq.
Okay.
This footage was first released on January 10th.
All right. So it's also weird infrared drone footage, what it appears to be.
2024
Yes.
by investigative journalists Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp. Jeremy Corbell. is
Maybe
a
it's just
filmmaker
maybe it's
and
just a shredded
ufologist
flying
based in
carpet.
Wow.
Los Angeles. He obtained this footage from 2018 of a military-filmed UAP incursion within a United States Joint Operations base in Iraq. This UAP
What if it's a
was
drone?
immediately nicknamed the Jellyfish UFO
'Cause it's shaped
because
like a
of its
jellyfish.
jellyfish-like appearance.
Derp.
The U.S.
Derp.
military drone monitoring this UAP could only view it in thermal vision. The drone that was designated to track this UAP has the potential of locking in on the tire of a remote car from as far as 27 miles away. But this advanced U.S. military drone found it difficult to lock on to this jellyfish UAP, thus indicating UAP, meaning hot
Could've fooled
and
me.
cold instantaneously, so as to not get detected by the thermal vision camera.
Wow.
Which goes to show that this UAP knew it was being monitored for the heat it
Wow.
was emitting, and made immediate modifications
Maybe.
to go undetected, thus implying that a sentient being was operating that UAP. After hovering over the U.S. Army base for some time,
Yeah, but
UAP,
it's going over buildings and shit. No one saw
thus
it.
implying that it was emitting, and made immediate
was
modifications
at night.
to go undetected, thus implying that a sentient
There's
being was
like, yo,
operating
dude,
that
I'm pretty
UAP.
sure out there in Iraq, when it's nighttime, a lot of the lights are just shut the fuck off and it's dark as hell.
Went out over a body of water, plunged into it, and stayed underwater for close to 17 minutes. And after 17 minutes, it shot out of the water at a 45-degree angle with tremendous velocity and
Oh, you hear this shit all the time.
Did the UAP
Going in and out of the
go
water?
underwater to hide from the U.S. surveillance drone? Or was that part of its mission to survey the underwater area around the military base for further weaponry?
You know what? I don't know, man. Like, what if it is underwater shit and it's not from some other planet? Or what if this is
We've
just...
never fully explored the oceans. We don't know what's down there.
Well, who's to say? And I say this over and over again. I'm like a broken record with this. I swear to God. Who's to say if it's just fucking China has some tech we don't know about? This thing was going hot to cold and hot to cold, and it's like obviously like some sort of like
They knew it was being tracked.
yeah, but it's like if this is something, it's something that's like specific, some sort of specific equipment that's good for this planet that we're on. Do you understand what I'm saying? So more likely than not, it's something that's on this planet that created it to make, it's just that it's so advanced that it's just like, oh shit, it's freaky. You know what I mean? That it does this shit, but it's probably a technology that maybe some other countries are just fucking testing out. Or maybe we're just testing out and seeing if our fucking tracking, devices could fucking keep up with it. To see if they're tracking devices to keep up with it. You know what I mean? It's just like really the like R&D is just like sending it out in the field and seeing if our military can catch it. And if our military doesn't catch it, then oh wow, this is the next new tech.
Why an octopus though?
No idea what it was.
Or whatever the hell that thing was.
And if this UAP sighting
Maybe the
was
arms have
from the
purposes to
Colombian
do,
pilot. This
manipulate
sighting
things.
took place on May 4th, 2020.
Is this on video? I didn't know about this one.
In Colombia. The footage was captured by the pilot while flying the Cessna T-303 Crusader. According to him,
That's a small
the
ass
object
thing.
was first seen floating and appeared stationary at a specific point
See?
between Medellin and Santa Fe. As they approached the UAP,
moving.
it suddenly moved
That's what I
towards
said.
them. He then moved his plane around and started filming. But as he did so,
Flight of
the
the Navigator.
UAP started moving
That's what
towards
shit
them.
looks like.
What happened?
He managed to avoid the UAP while
That movie,
flying
Flight of the Navigator, that's what
Oh,
this
yeah.
looks like.
kilometers per hour. The pilot expressed fear during the encounter, insisting that the object
up,
was
Mike.
neither a balloon,
Flight
a
of the
drone,
Navigator
nor
spaceship.
any known object to him.
And you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
Similar flying spheres.
And this is the design of a spaceship that's in a live-action Disney movie from the 80s, mind you. So, and this is exactly what everybody's describing. Like, not a flying saucer.
Wow, how did you do that?
That was a third-class maneuver, Navigator.
Well, if that was a third-class maneuver...
The spaceship looks like that, and then manipulates itself.
It's us. This shit is us. This shit is us. They were talking about it back then. They were thinking about it back then. They were close to making it back then. And now we see it. This shit is us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
you know what this means? You know what this means?
What?
In the next 100 years or so, we'll be colonizing fucking the world, basically. Like, not Earth,
like Mars. Yeah. We're going to Mars. Elon says
Mars?
we're going to
Mars. Go to Alpha Centauri.
We could get there. You got to be.
Do what
like
these things can do. We can get there.
It would be like Interstellar. It would be happening like 25 years from now, but it would be 1 year for that. Well, however that shit works.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But it wouldn't be happening now.
Oh, right now it's only for the rich folk. No, I'm kidding.
Mars might be doable in 10 years. 2035, you could be like, they could be sending people to Mars to not come back.
Were also seen in other parts of the world. Let's continue to know more. Number 3, 10-foot humanoids on a Brazilian island. So for people who keep saying that UFOs and aliens are only seen in the US, here is something specially for you. Just 1 week after the shadow alien encounter
it was
in
not
January
real.
2024, people in Brazil encountered 2 weird alien
this-
creatures on top
I
of
remember
a hill.
this too.
Hikers were so with bigger strides obviously because of their tall stature. Even Brazil's provincial government commented on the video calling the creatures strange beings. To South America. Number 4, UFO seen by a commercial pilot in Colombia.
I think this is my thing. I think aliens like cocaine.
I was gonna ask, whatever happened? What was the real story behind that Miami thing? Was that Miami with the what was the real story behind that?
It was a shadow, dude. It was a guy walking because the fucking the cops had their floodlights on, and it's just like you looked at a really dark figure that was just like sort of projected out onto the sidewalk that looked like somebody walking, underneath the trees. That made the guy look like he was fucking 8 to 10 feet tall.
Has got to be one of
it was just some dude.
Ooh, this is cool.
That has ever been caught
this is
on
real.
Tape. The one-of-a-kind video was recorded by the pilot of a commercial airplane in Colombia.
See now, that video,
2020.
When people say like fucking weather balloon, that's sort of what I think they're talking about. That shit
But it doesn't really look like a weather balloon.
There. Could be a fucking trash bag, dude. That's just like,
A320 was on a routine flight soaring over Medellin, Colombia. At about 30,000 feet in the air, the pilot decided to pull out his phone and record the view. But to his astonishment, he spotted a metallic cube with pointy edges moving seamlessly in a straight line. Now, if this was a weather balloon, it would sway from left to right, but this seemed to be moving forward in one direction, implying that it was being propelled by a powerful engine of sorts.
What?
A similar object was spotted by a U.S. fighter pilot.
How do you know that?
2018.
It's not leaving a trail. It's not disrupting any air.
Of 35,000 feet. That UFO has still not been identified, and its structure seems to be very similar to the cube-like structure that was seen by the Colombian pilot in 2020. Whether these are alien,
that would be bugged out if it was just like some floating cube. Like if I just saw some floating box, like out, like
but these
in the air while I'm flying.
It's like an episode of Rick and Morty, man. Like I don't know whether to shoot the thing or bow down and just say I give up. I don't know what the fuck this thing is. I give up.
Yeah. But how? Okay, this is what bugs me out, right? Is that, and the thing is, like, I know what you're gonna say too. But if these commercial flights are getting so fucking close and seeing this shit, right? Like, how hasn't any military caught one of these already? You understand what I'm saying? Like, if a commercial flight is getting so close, a fucking fighter jet is definitely gonna be on one of those motherfuckers. You know what I mean? But they always get away, or they always evade, or had they ever pursued? Like, you never hear.
2023. Russia said it shot down a UFO.
Yeah, but that just means their definition of the word could mean anything that they don't know. Like, it could literally be like a Chinese weather balloon could be a
Russia
UAP to them.
warplanes chased and shot at dozens of UAPs. 45 instances in which Russian warplanes engaged with UFOs.
And where is the evidence?
It's Russia, man. They don't share that shit with us.
Well, the thing is, like, if fucking, you know, you had a population that just witnessed a fucking dogfight over a town, a city.
Oh, it was George Knapp. It was George Knapp. He interviewed the fighters who were part of it. That's what it was.
And they stated that they were involved in a dogfight with UAPs.
Yes.
And shot them down. And that Russia collected evidence from the.
Well, I don't think they ever found them.
Thing. There's going to be a wreckage.
I don't think they ever found the wreckage.
I don't know about that then.
Ooh,
See, I need
over LaGuardia?
This is the latest sighting in the list.
Yeah.
This shocking sighting took place just recently in March 2024.
Where was I?
Mm-hmm.
Michelle Reyes was on a commercial flight above New York's
drones,
LaGuardia
dude. This is
Airport
all part of the
March
drone
25th.
shit.
She was casually recording a video of New York skyline, like
Here's the
most
video.
travelers do as their plane gets ready to land, when suddenly, she spotted something very unusual. She saw a mysterious, eerie-looking black disc-like object zooming past her plane from right to left. The dark object was traveling at roughly 2,500 feet above ground level and was relatively close to the plane. The motion was really quick, but if we pause the footage, you can clearly see that this UAP was neither a drone nor any manned aircraft that we know of. Now let's see the footage in real time. Even if we consider the fact that
it's hard to even tell if that's inside or outside the plane. What if it's a fly flying past the lens?
That's what I'm saying.
Are moving in opposite directions. It still seemed like the UFO was moving at tremendous speeds, like a fighter
distance. Jet. Like, how far away was that?
Drone can achieve Mach speed while flying. After
I don't know, a
recording
couple
the
of shit.
footage, Michelle Reyes immediately emailed the Federal Aviation Administration to let them know what she saw. But even the FAA are still clueless as to what the mysterious UFO was seen for airport.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think
this incident took place in Aguadilla.
Don't they see that shit all the time down there?
Yeah. So when I went
Puerto Rico has a lot of sightings, right?
When I went to Puerto Rico to visit my family, I was what, 7, 8, 9.
And they were talking about that shit back then.
And I was into it. Back in the day, I was into paranormal shit and UFOs and all that shit. So like, I brought it up or something, and they're like, "Yeah, all the time down the mountain." I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, on the other side of this mountain, next to where we live, is basically a U.S. military base.
Right.
And we see all sorts of weird shit flying around and weird lights and weird sounds. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, one time there was this thing, and it looked like a ball of like a, you know what? Holy shit. Now that I'm thinking about it, he said it looked like a metallic ball flying, and then it crashed, and there was all sparks and flames on the side of the mountain. So maybe
that shit happens a lot. I'm sure that's like Roswell, New Mexico was probably the same shit. It was just like some experimental fucking aircraft that fucking crashed. You know what I mean?
In this footage, we can clearly see that the forward-looking infrared camera tracking the movement of this UFO was finding it extremely difficult to keep track of it because of its intense speed and agile movement. In the footage, we can see a sphere-like object swiftly flying.
For the record,
That's crazy.
What you see right now is the same thing. The drones. It's not a drone. I think it's a fighter jet, but
Yeah.
it's the same thing. The drones they use to drop bombs on people on the ground.
Yeah.
So it can track things.
Yeah.
It can track things very
It
well.
should be. Well, yeah, that's what they're made to do.
Flying first over
You
the
know,
airport.
that whole
and then
system is
over
made to do
road
that.
and commercial buildings.
And it's having difficulty keeping up with it.
It looks like it's going hot and cold, hot and cold.
To try to, like it knows it's
Even
being
the
tracked
military
probably.
personnel capturing the footage said that the UFO exhibited characteristics that cannot be explained by any known aircraft or natural phenomenon. Also, they added that this UFO was definitely smaller than an aircraft. So maybe it was an alien probe sent to survey the airport area.
Or a drone.
The
That's just like really
aircraft
fast.
continued following the sphere for more than 10 minutes, and during this time it slowly moved towards the ocean.
Where it
That's
went in
where
the water.
things got weirder, because the sphere suddenly dipped inside the water.
Do we get footage of that? Oh, wow!
And when it emerged out of the water,
it came out,
split into two UFOs while traveling at the same speed.
That is
the
weird.
UFOs again went underwater, but this time never to be seen again.
I've never seen this full video. I always saw clips. That's the Go Fast video.
Yeah.
The military personnel were perplexed and horrified as to what they had just been spotted over U.S. military bases. Let's continue watching the video to find out more. Number 7. UFOs spotted on the moon from Moscow.
Oh, come on.
Oh, yeah.
Is not
You know this one where they could like
from Moscow,
see
Russia,
something getting launched
captured
off of
something
it.
on the moon that left him totally spellbound. Anyways, there are conspiracy theories that the moon is an alien back in 2000, the city of Moscow. And while trying to focus,
we watched
he
a whole
saw
video about
something
that
very
conspiracy.
unusual.
That's what I'm saying.
At first glance, he could see 3 circular objects moving near the surface of the moon.
But that's not the surface of the moon.
That's just in relation. You don't know how far away that is.
And then when he tried to
from us
to confirm what he saw, to his amazement, now there were multiple circular UFOs moving at the same speed from left to right over the moon.
That's space debris. You know that, right?
UFOs was
that's circling our planet.
Analysts
it's
are still
space
not
debris.
able to deduce what exactly these flying circular lunar objects were.
Did we just debunk this?
And seems like one of these alien
That's
spheres
it.
made it to South
And
America.
you know, now hold on a second.
No.
This is another thing. They're just like, like an eclipse. It's just like how far away the object in relation to it. Like you're gonna see like a black dot, even if it's like equal distance from here to the moon, if the object is big enough. Now, what's crazy is we don't know how far away that is.
Yeah,
so
it's impossible.
Let's just say it's outside of our atmosphere, but those are big asteroids, meteors, even that would be smacking into us. But because there's no need to tell us about those near misses because they're like the scientists could pretty much figure out the trajectory to say whether or not it was going to hit us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that might also be like those asteroids that are like, oh shit, we only discovered it like a week ago. You know what I mean? Like a little too late, because that happens too. Where they're like, oh shit, we didn't see it that it was coming this close, and it would literally be like one of these asteroids that are like, oh, like they say it'll be like fucking like whatever 100 miles outside of our atmosphere.
Yeah, the closest to ever pass us.
So maybe who's to say that those little dots?
But there is space debris circling
like a meteor shower that's just or not a meteor shower, but like an asteroid fucking cluster passing between us and the moon.
Jeremy Corbell.
But do you think Trump's gonna tell us about the aliens? You think he spills the beans on that?
Listen, I think Joe Rogan's so funny because he always says, he's like, I suck at keeping secrets. No one should tell me the fucking truth ever. Please don't, because I'm gonna tell the fucking the world, man.
Yeah.
But because even the stuff So if you when he had the UFO guy who worked at area not 51, whatever it was.
Yeah.
What the
What's
hell's his name?
Fravor?
Yes.
Not him.
No,
Yeah.
not
No.
Favor. Shit. Anyway, well, he went on the podcast with Joe.
Yeah.
And he said, "There's things I want to tell you, but I can't tell you on the podcast." Blah 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 blah. And what those things were, Joe actually ended up saying. I think I figured out what it was because they didn't talk about it on the podcast. But he talked about it with someone else.
And said my friend said this, that, and the other, and didn't say who it was. Right.
So it was the part where he goes, he said that what they seem to believe was that they look at us as like meat suits or like, and it correlates with the whole theory that we're containers for souls and we're made for like mining souls or something. That crazy theory we heard, but that's also what he said.
That aliens are mining souls,
Yes.
using us to mine souls.
Yes. So we're jumping into some crazy deep conspiracy, but that's what,
So what if that's like a thing? Like, like that sounds like, something from like a
The Matrix?
like a fantasy or old mythology to where it's like, like, oh, you could be like, oh, let's just say Hades is at war with Zeus and now he's trying to farm souls to create an army to defeat Zeus. Like, it sounds like that.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
so it's like, what does this extraterrestrial like race?
Also, how did those guys come up with those ideas unless they didn't come up with them by accident?
That's another thing. So like, what if that's true? That like the consciousness carries over, and that is like some sort of like, what if it's currency?
Oh boy.
What the fuck?
What if it's food?
Are we oysters?
Right?
And they're looking for the pearl, and like we each have a pearl inside us, and that's our soul, or whatever our consciousness is.
A crazy idea.
But then why would they have such clunky fucking UAPs? for an alien race,
you gotta remember,
so advanced to need souls. They would have better spaceships or probes.
Who says they're not the people that engineered us and put us on here to make souls because they were having issues getting enough of them in the world or the galaxy?
Maybe they're soulless. Do they eat the souls? That's crazy.
What if they created the universe to mine souls? And it's a really long and tedious process until you have the perfect planet with the perfect environment.
Oh, wow. So we're just like not a petri dish. We're just like a garden.
Yeah.
Right? We're the potatoes.
We're the potatoes.
They planted us and like hopefully
in 2019.
This
was then leaked by Jeremy Corbell in 2021. The government's classified briefing clearly mentioned that the triangular UFO was definitely not owned by the United States or any other country or even a private spaceflight firm.
But it's flashing.
Some think that this might be an advanced version
like a commercial fleet would. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Let me see that again.
Do you see that?
Okay. Not owned by the United States or any other country or even a private spaceflight firm.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Some think that this might be an advanced version.
Isn't that like that pace? Isn't that like indicative of like a commercial airline?
Or something commercial or something local.
Yeah, that's meant to be seen. You know what I mean? I guess.
All right, I'm going to jump off this topic real quick because you wanted me to share this and you wanted to discuss it.
No, I'm like, all right. I don't know what just pops up in my algorithm, but and I'm not exactly sure what the three letters of this is, but it's like apparently it's some religious group. But it's just
It's
strange.
just two of them.
Strange, yeah. It's just these two people talking about like I don't even know if any of this is like actual. It sounds like gibberish to me. A lot of it.
They look like brother and sister.
And they're all just like they're dripped out. Like they're just like they wear their new swag and talk about Jesus sort of. And it makes no sense to me. Like a lot of this
in the presence of God, staying on fire, and that's how you stay in prosperity, you stay in grace. Pray without ceasing. In everything give thanks, for this is the will of God for you in Christ Jesus, it is written.
It's not what he's saying.
Praying without ceasing, constantly aware of the Holy Ghost in the midst of the world. And this is a different kind of world.
Is this what evangelical preachers look like now in 2025?
I don't know, but like I'm all about this.
Really?
This is
the kind of church you want to go to?
Okay, if this is the preacher, I'm going to church.
But it's not just him. It's
the church.
It's the girl too.
Well,
it's the girl too.
I will send a helper, the Holy Spirit, and he will be the hand of God, the finger of God, helping you. How is he helping you? Driving out demons. He is the spirit of wisdom and revelation of intimate knowledge of Jesus Christ. Ephesians
you know what I mean? But it's the package that it's coming in because this is the thing. I'm gonna say
while you're struggling with your issue, you can pray. You're empowered to pray. Because where you're weak, he is strong. So go ahead and just pause and pray for somebody else. And I think you're gonna.
I'm pausing permanently.
So I'm gonna say this, right? Like, what's with the drip and then the Jesus? Like, what is it? Because now this is like a new. You know what I mean? Like, I'm used to like black churches having like like the minister, with like a really fancy suit on and gold. You know what I mean? Watch, chains. Cross, big fat. Gold cross chain. You know what I mean? Earrings now sometimes and shit. And it's like, all right, I'm used to that, but I'm not used to like two of like the whitest kids ever. Just being so Jesus with like
he looks like that
face neck tattoos, and she looks straight up, like a Brighton Beach princess. You know what I mean?
He looks like the rapper from South America, Die Antwerp or whatever.
No, they look like Insane Asylum. Die Antwoord.
Yeah.
Antwoord. But nah, this page just I don't know why this stuff pops up in my algorithm. I'm not looking for Jesus, dude. Not looking for Jesus. And I'm also not looking for dripped out fucking, preachers. You know what I mean? But this shit popped up and I'm like, what I need your opinion on this. Like sometimes I'm like, I gotta send this to Mike and see what he says about this.
I don't hate the message. I guess. I mean, I'm not religious.
Yeah, but what's with
you?
Yeah, but what's with the drip? What's with the drip?
I expect it to be they're from Florida, probably. I mean, look what he's wearing. He's in Florida or California, but probably Florida.
You think so?
Yeah. Not like your part of Florida,
nice.
but like
the background's nice. It might be my part of Florida. That's the thing.
In other news.
Yeah, they definitely took a big jump in the last, and will continue to. Right? Is that what this graph is saying?
Uh-huh.
That testicular injuries.
You must have sent me this too. This thing is scary, isn't it?
Speaking about drones, sometimes they're not fucking the ones that are flying that you got to worry about.
No. It's the ones that can go in water too. Apparently.
This one just putt, just swim up to you. It fucking swims. And then it can hold, Yeah, watch. It comes out. And then the gun comes out the front. You saw that shit?
Yep. Wow. That thing is fucking you up.
That's scary, dude. That you need sticky grenades for that shit. That's how you get rid of those. You gotta be just slightly faster than that, and you gotta shoot RPGs at that shit.
Did you
take that out? How do you take that out? RPGs. That's the only way. Explosives.
Did you go to Walmart before the holidays? And pick up
yes.
Did you pick up a shirt?
No, I didn't.
Sweater?
I saw that. That was bad funny. Yeah, a lot of people wore that. You know, like, have you seen?
How do they like not realize though?
A bunch of people bought that shit before they pulled it off their shelves. You know,
Hey,
they had
yeah. I mean, I hope someone bought it. I'd buy that shirt in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but they had to pull it off their shelves.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, once they found out that was out there, they had to take that down. It's very funny though.
And I found this one too.
It's
You might
fucking
get a kick out of this.
The girl killed the snake.
2-year-old girl gets bitten by a snake, bites it back, and kills it.
Damn, was it? I mean, was it a poisonous snake? I hope not. Or is it? If it was just a regular ass snake, that girl was fucking psycho. You got a little serial killer on your hands.
Yeah, for real. But I mean, that kid's the man. Like, oh, you bite me, I'm biting you fucking back, motherfucker.
Well, yeah, it's pretty badass. But I'm just saying, like, if it was not like a venomous snake, she just like killed a pet snake, dude.
Oh yeah, I guess that's
she
true.
just killed the
family pet.
She just burned the family pet.
Yeah, I wouldn't think she was gonna do that, but you know,
we're like, whoa, that escalated rather quickly. You know what I mean? Like, goddamn. All right, little lady. Okay, don't cry. We'll get you another one.
So I don't know if you've been to Leone's before, right?
Yes.
Okay. This made me think of Leone's.
No volume.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I'm not hearing any volume.
Really? How about now? You hear it? Really?
Yeah. You hear it?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Maybe I'm just bugging.
We'll do this again.
So is it like one of those things?
I don't know. We'll see.
Where I feel like Instagram loses audio sometimes.
Ready?
Superside mozzarella on a semolina, Mikey B's anus. Provolone, mortadella, lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise on a nice round roll. Oh fuck, I farted. That's chicken cutlet, vinegar peppers, escarole beans on semolina. Then we got the heavy Richie chicken cutlet vodka sauce on mustard cheese. Toasted,
this is
very
like
nice. Joey's ass.
Close to like
soppressata, salami,
real.
Pepperoni with pepper jack, Gouda on a nice roll. Big loaf, boom. And then if you like the hot shit, I got the My Pekka Burns. That's hot salami, hot soppressata, hot honey, vinegar peppers, cherry peppers, and I think Frank's Red Hot. Frank's Red Hot on the My Pekka Burns, Joey? Yeah, Frank's Red Hot on that. We toast it, whatever you like. That's on a whole week. You pick. What do you want?
It's so true.
I love the epic sandwiches, though. You know, the names are a little different than they are there in real life. But yeah, that's about the.
So I found we're actually live on Rumble as well. I don't know if we're actually live now. I can't tell how.
And you were telling me how much you love Rumble.
I can't find our stuff on Rumble.
Tell me what you like about Rumble.
Where's our live on Rumble? There's no videos found. I don't get it. Huh. Okay. So
what's it about Rumble?
I went there and I was like,
so
look, it's news. Wait, why isn't it sharing? No, it didn't switch. What's going on?
You said it was news, but discover on Rumble.
So like it's home of like fake news, basically. It's where fake news has gone.
Oh, to thrive, not to die, to thrive.
Yeah, basically.
So this is evil Twitter. This is bizarro Twitter.
Kind of.
Well,
Not really Twitter.
Twitter's
like bizarro YouTube.
Using drones
VNN.
has been exposed. A former CIA officer delivers a grave warning about the next Homeland Security attack, and the Cybertruck bomber story takes a chilling turn.
It's just basically
Time to
watch
wake
videos
up.
of
I'm
the
Maria
news
Z of
videos and react like
zmedia.com,
we do.
and this is
We keep
Vigilant
you world
Fox's
famous.
Media Blackout.
So it's just like pandering to the conspiracy theory crowd.
Women of flying vaccinators.
Absolutely.
Right?
Hiroyuki Matsuoka of GT Medical University in Japan, for
They're
instance,
vaccinating people
announced
by
that with
spraying
the
the
help
air.
of a 2008 Gates Foundation grant, he was preparing work on an engineered mosquito that could produce and secrete a malaria vaccine protein into a host's skin. In 2022,
That sounds insane.
Sean Murphy and his
It's probably
I have a
true, though.
team
question.
at the University
I have a question that maybe, like your opinion might be pretty insightful. Is this like a new outlet for people who really want to get into the news, but they can't get hired by a regular network, would go and do for just a little bit of money, like to pretend to be like a news anchor for like a super
those other things that they did.
conspiracy theory? I mean, I'm just gonna guess that Rumble's mostly right wing.
It seems that way.
And that being said, so it's like probably just like a lot of people who are like, all right, I'm willing to tell super far right news and conspiracy theory news and tinfoil hat shit that panders to and they'll have like a lot of misinformation people on who just like have shitty credentials, you know what I mean, and aren't vetted, even though like in your traditional like news media, not many like people are like over vetted to the point where they're just like planted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's the complete opposite of that, it seems. No one's vetted.
But I don't think like, hey, Rumble being like a medium that's out there, there may be some like in the future some like Alex Jones with the plastics making the frogs gay.
You're wrong about that technically, sort of.
What I'm saying is like there might be a moment like that on Rumble that'll be like, oh shit, the drones are fucking blah 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 blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean. I see what you're saying.
Like the drones are giving us cancer because they've been shooting lasers at us. You know what I mean?
Before we started, I found this and put it up. They're still live.
Its use threatens multi-billion-dollar markets for antidepressants, opioids, and other therapies. The drug is ibogaine, which comes from the root bark of the iboga shrub, native to Central Africa. Ibogaine works by...
Oh yeah, it's supposedly great.
Ibogaine.
Not great for you, but it's
yeah.
It makes you never want to do it again and do whatever you wanted to not do. Like gets it out of your system, whatever it is you're trying to fix. Apparently.
Yeah. And they've been prescribing it to people in other countries, right? Ibogaine.
I don't know.
For opioid addiction.
It's basically like it's like YouTube. This thing.
So wait, Rumble isn't like where you could post your story or do you have a profile? Like on Rumble, does one have a profile that they could post on?
Let's see.
And like say, hey, does
YouTube.
Does anybody know a good patriotic burger spot? It's only video. Rumble's only video.
Yeah, it's like it looks like YouTube. It's set up by YouTube. Look at this guy's videos. Look at his thumbnails.
Oh wow.
What is this?
Does he use AI to make his thumbnails?
I don't know, but
it looks like he just spoke that all into Chat GPT.
Sweet potato. Try to find the
Two
purple
ads.
sweet potato. They're the
2,000
highest.
people following him. Is he just gonna play Doom?
Purple sweet potatoes.
Is he just playing Doom? He's just playing Doom. No, this isn't Doom. What is this? Wow, his thumbnails got me to click.
Yo, what's up, Aaron?
So you got suckered into it, Mike. That's just what happened. It worked on you. You gotta, like,
I wonder
you
if
gotta
it's
sort of
right wing. They said everything on this is right wing. It's a right wing cesspool.
Yeah, but who's saying that Rumble's a right wing cesspool?
People
And
who are
it's
paid off
just-
by YouTube and Google.
So this is why, you know what I just learned? Rumble is so like disruptive to somebody with that opinion because it's all videos, and they want to, they don't want any easy access videos for people to watch because that's more disruptive to their agenda.
Apparently,
Obviously,
we're not live on Rumble right now because we couldn't verify the account. So I'm trying to verify the account, even though we're probably almost done for the night. But at least for next time, thanks,
so
Rumble.
well, we'll post it next week's episode. Will be on Rumble. So we're not on Rumble today. We're just talking about Rumble. We're talking about being on Rumble, so that I think eventually next week we will be on Rumble.
Exactly.
This is the discussion before Rumble, the pre-Rumble discussion.
Yes.
About Rumble,
Not press save and
but
just
not on Rumble yet.
Yes.
So next week
we'll be on Rumble,
talking about being on Rumble.
Is Pelosi the worst to ever do it?
Hi, it's Nancy. I'm on my way to
To ever do what?
Hi, Nancy.
Proudly represent the people of San Francisco in
Herself.
Congress. I'm honored to
Now
do
hold
so.
on a second about Nancy Pelosi.
This is only 18 seconds long.
Nancy, the best video, the best videos that you can watch out there, or the best advice is that account that follows her purchases in the stock market and her sales, what she sells and what she buys, and everybody, there's like there's like an app out there or some shit that like invests your money based on what congressmen and like invest their shit in.
That's hilarious.
And everybody has positive returns.
That makes sense. Why would they're not going to invest in things that are
So it'll buy what Pelosi buys for you.
Fucking hilarious.
Yeah, and sell what Pelosi sells for you. It's nuts, dude.
Surprised it's still legal.
I mean, really, it's not technically advice. It's just telling you what they bought. It's like, really, you know what I mean? Like, that's the only information they're giving you. All you got to do is just match it, and they will automatically do it for you because that's just what you're giving them permission to buy. You're already you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's not inside or anything. This is all public knowledge. You know what I mean?
San Francisco values. Thank you.
By that, she means literally making herself money and letting her town burn to the ground. Those are the classic SF values.
That's it. This guy has 100,000 followers.
All with shorties? Or does he goes in depth? I mean, he has to in order to
Let's see.
get any sort of points across.
They're all 55 seconds, 11 minutes, 50 seconds, 30 seconds, 20 seconds, 20
But
minutes.
to say that, to say that she's the worst that ever did it, like, I'm sure there's hundreds of other congressmen and women who are just, if not as bad, but worse.
Yeah, of course.
This Lee County man thinks he's won one of the hottest tickets in town to the Iron Bowl, but in fact he's won a trip to jail for failure to pay more than $30,000 in child support. Let's take a look at the takedown.
I'm Dennis Harrell from Lee County Sheriff's Department.
Oh, yeah.
We have a warrant for your arrest for child support.
One after
Surprise.
another, dads and moms
That's
wanted for
too
failure to
funny.
pay child support walked into a fake
The old
tailgate
child
party
support
set up by the Lee
mousetrap.
County Sheriff's Office at a Vegas
That's pretty
building.
creative.
And the parents thought
Wow.
they had won Iron
I've seen
Bowl
this shit,
tickets
yep.
because that's what this letter sent to them by a fake fan group set up by the sheriff's office told them.
Wow.
I'm now a winner.
But his smile quickly faded when he was told the real
Dude,
reason
this is
was
devious.
here.
Gotcha, bitch.
Yeah.
It's that sort of, all right. I'm not saying that if they weren't pulled over by the cops, that they couldn't be arrested for back child support. I get that. I understand that. You know, like being out there and then you break the law and you have a warrant out for that. But to lure somebody in seems in itself sort of fucked up.
No, but how's this supposed to get you, though?
They could come to your house, knock on your door. They don't have to give some sort of elaborate.
But you don't have to answer the door unless they get a warrant. They're not going to get a warrant for back owed child support. That's the problem.
Yeah, they can. Why not? Who's to say they can't?
The judge probably won't sign off on it.
Why? It looked to me like a waste of funds to set that up when all they had to do is just knock on this motherfucker's door and take him in or get him at work.
That. Yeah, it's a waste.
Why couldn't they just get him at work on his way from work if the warrant's already out there for back child support? Why did they have to arrest him in front of cameras and shit? You know what I mean?
Because he required further embarrassment.
Yeah. All right. I see the necessity of maybe thinking that, but I'm just saying, like, it seems like a waste of resources.
Oh, I absolutely agree. But
You
know, cops love to waste resources. Where'd it go?
Seems all for the show, you know?
Oh,
Nobody gives a fuck.
The
Just say
title,
they got arrested.
The title of the show is because, so you know that song "Wet Ass Pussy," you know, WAP, make it WAP, need a bucket.
Yeah, it's a classic now. The song's been out for a while. It's a classic now.
I
Yeah.
was discussing it with my wife, and I'm like, you know, they didn't. Maybe it was because she had like. You know how when sometimes women they sneeze, they pee, or if they cough too hard, they pee. And it could be like an issue. It's like maybe it's not that she's not a hoe. She just had pelvic floor issues. I was really fucking edible, and I was like, you know, you just fucking need a bucket and a mop because I just pissed over the floor again, honey.
Can't laugh at anything. You know what I mean? Like that. That's like that. You know, like
that's a real thing.
Yeah. Like sometimes if a woman laughs too hard. You know, or certain specific women laugh too hard, they'll just like lose it.
Now we're talking about women peeing on the floor uncontrollably. Really fucking edible, crazy. And I was like, you know, you just fucking need a bucket and a mop.
Yeah,
pissed over the floor again, honey.
Can't laugh at anything. You know what I mean? Like that. That's like that. You know, like
that's a real thing.
Yeah. The delay is longer if a woman laughs too hard. Well, anyway, or certain specific women laugh too hard, they'll just like lose it.
And it's not talking the same anymore because it's not on the floor uncontrollably.
No, this is different.
Fucking edible, crazy. I was like, you know, you just fucking.
Well, yeah. Anyway, I guess we're pissing out. So
Sundays, we'll see you Sundays.
Can't laugh at 9:30. You know what I mean? Peace out. That's like that. You know, like
that's a real thing.